everybody. It's Linda G. And today I'm with Najia.
Yes, Najia, you can call me either way.
And it's an interesting story. First of all, thank you for being here.
Oh my
And I
God.
had promised her to put her on the show, but this was like 3 years ago, and we were between the fires and COVID and everything. It was cray cray. But I've read her 3 times. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, today you found out.
And I'm going to
Honestly.
give, she's a medium, she's a tarot reader, and I can already tell you she's really good. And apparently, my guides told me she was really good 3 years ago. So, introduce yourself, girlfriend.
Hi, everybody. I'm Najia, and my channel is called The Dancing Oracle with Najia. And my website is bealivinggoddess.com, where I teach you to channel your inner goddess. And Linda, about 5.5 years, well, 5 years ago,
Was
Linda.
it 5 years ago?
Five is when I first contacted you for a reading. And I had lost a lot of people in my life. In fact, I lost my half sister and my mother within the same week. I lost one of my best friends that month. And I lost also my dad a few years earlier. I was still grieving him. And I really needed uh, someone who could talk to the dead because even though I felt like I had communication, I had some pretty wild things happen. Oh, it's just my imagination. I want to believe that. I needed an outside validation, outside voice, an outside sight like you. And oh my God. No, listen, people. I mean, I hope she goes back to doing something with mediumship because you have no freaking idea the level of connection and knowledge that she has as a medium.
Thank you, God. Thank you.
Oh no, it was so profound. That's why I had to listen to you after a while. Um, Let me just tell you one thing, because we could talk all day just about my reading. One thing that happened, the first thing the first thing she's like, girlfriend, what are you calling me for? Every time I call her, this is what she says. She doesn't even know I'm the same person until today. Girlfriend, what are you calling me for? You have all the cares. What are you calling me for? You have all the same gifts. You don't need me. And I'm like, I need a medium. And then she's like, you should be doing this for a living. My guides are telling me you're a healing psychic. You're meant to do this. And I'm like, no friggin' way. I'm not coming out of the closet about that. And that's like a whole life change. And I'm already weird enough. So I wasn't ready for, being the artist, the belly dancer. And now I got to, come out as a psychic. Oh
Oh, we
God.
both love belly dancing. I was a
Oh,
belly
that's
dancer
right. That's
years
right.
ago.
So the second thing Linda tells me, you're gonna, okay. She says, you have a guide that's been with you since birth. Her name is Mary, and she's your dad's little sister. She died as a child.
What?
I'm seeing Depression era clothing. I'm here also hearing the name Louise, but definitely Mary, right? And I'm like, oh, my dad never had any little sisters. There's no girls. Is it possible it's a stillbirth? You're like, no, I'm seeing fully formed child. She's wearing clothes. She's, able to walk around. Her name is Mary. Maybe Louise be in the name somewhere, but definitely Mary. So I find out. Well, she told me everything else was true. Just let's go through there. She knew things I can't say publicly, right? It was something. So that was the big one. I'm trying to think. Maybe you mean my grandmother that died. Like she would be my guide. Like all this stuff. I find out 4 months later from an aunt, my aunt, my Aunt Joanne. And nobody like knew this in the family about this little girl,
Oh my
right?
God.
Except my Aunt Joanne. So we're on speakerphone. My uncle's on speakerphone saying hi in the background. I'm like, Aunt Joanne, this is really going to sound weird, but I've been missing mommy. And I consulted the medium, and she said the strangest thing. I can't get over it. Is it possible my dad had a little sister that died as a little girl, not a stillbirth, miscarriage? She's like, oh yeah, Mary Lou.
Holy cow. Oh, I'm getting the
And
heebie-jeebies.
then my uncle's like in the background, what? What? My uncle never knew, right? So she said, yeah. She goes, my sister Mary Lou was sick with cancer, and I was really scared. I was like, and she goes, I was out with grandma, and I go, Mom, I'm so scared. I'm afraid Mary Lou's gonna die. I'm really scared. And my grandma kind of goes into this off trance, and she goes, Mary Lou, that was my little girl's name. She was born after John and before Mike, and she died. That's all she said.
Whoa,
Then I'm like, wait, my grandmother's name was Mary. Her favorite sister was Louise.
there you go.
I'm like, so listen, after that, Linda's telling me I should be a psychic. I should take some formal courses so I can do it
And
under.
that's from my guides. You got to listen to my guides.
Yeah, because I was already channeling periodically, sporadically for people when I teach them dance. I would get messages for them, but I have no control over that. And she goes, well, do something reliable like tarot. I go, yeah, I was asked to do a tarot deck by a publisher because they love my drawings, but I just can never get around to it. I'm just trying to survive. And now it's even harder with this pandemic. I lost my work. So, that's in the back of my mind. But then because this incident with Mary Lou happened, as being my guide, like for real, she pulled out the name Mary Louise. Mary, how the hell did you know that? Like,
I didn't know it. It's my guides that tell me.
So yeah, you're just finding this out now.
Yeah.
I'm glad to tell you now because I can't call, you know what I'm saying? You're such a busy lady. I tried to write it in your comments, but you probably don't get a
Oh,
chance.
I don't hardly even be able to get there. You see, one
Yeah.
time I had 8,000 comments.
I know, but at least people knew about you when I wrote it in the comments. Like back then you were still reading. And I wanted people to know there is life beyond
It
because
definitely is life beyond. That's why
it's
I
not.
wrote that book. They told me to write that book. I didn't want to, but they just wanted me to tell the story because I was raised by atheists. There was no spiritual connection until I saw Jesus when I was 8 years old. So something was going to happen to me.
Something was destined. You had that reading that said you were going to be famous and
By
all these
Patricia
people.
McLean. She was an astrologer, a psychic. She read me when I was 38 years old and even said I was going to have two boys. And I thought, you know how you stop listening to the person because
Yeah.
they got to be out of their mind.
Well, I kind of felt that way about you at first.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, hell no. And so she said I was going to have two boys. I'd probably have a couple more marriages. And, I was trying to get a tubal at 38. They wouldn't do it because they said I
Mhm.
was too young. And then she said, but when you're hitting, late 50s, 60s, you're going to become very sought after. I see you standing before people. People will seek you out. And, I'm thinking Hollywood, but who knew she meant this?
Well, you help a lot of people get through some hard stuff. You helped me
It's a
long
pleasure.
before I called you. I
But I can
discovered
never
you.
remember. I do the readings and then you could go back and ask me something. I won't even remember what I said.
No, and I hardly do any readings, compared to you when I work at Angel Art because I'm a newer reader there. But I can't remember people unless I start seeing the same cards. I'm like, hey, I've read you before. Like one person, she had every nine in the deck, including the 18, 1 and 8 = 9. And I said, I've read you before. Didn't I tell you need to find your tribe? You're really alone. You're too independent. You need. And then she goes, yeah, that's why I called you because you were so right. I said, but you haven't found your tribe yet. You haven't. I said, God, I wish you lived in Philly because I'm out here. She's out in the West Coast. I would introduce you to all my good friends.
Yeah,
I go, I have anyway. So, but I won't know. Well, I'm like, imagine only Linda. She can't remember. How could you remember?
I
How
can't. And
the
here's
amount
the
of
other
people.
thing. We help people as best as we can, but we can't take care of everybody. That's the hard part. as Virgos, you're a Virgo like me, we think that we can help people. It's like they told me I was going to do a YouTube channel, and I absolutely refused because it's like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to get up and brush my hair. And they said, Linda, you will help calm them down. Exactly. That's what
You,
they said. And because they said that, that Virgo kicks in.
because you
Well,
want to
I
help.
guess if it helps people to calm down, you know. And
Yeah.
we're still going crazy after all this time.
Thank God you're still here.
Yeah, but I asked you if you wanted to talk a little bit about current events, and you had said something that you had seen in Trump.
Well, a year ago, I saw death around him. I just looked at his energy, to look like around, and I saw death coming for him. And it's hard to say when, but I kind of think it's still soon.
Yeah,
And I have to go look at his energy again. I have a hard time looking.
you have a
It's
hard
hard
time
because
listening or looking.
it affects me, you know?
He's
You know,
so
you,
cruel sometimes.
it's hard. So, um, either that could have been maybe possibly one of the possible assassins. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
But I kind of saw, I just, and now when I have looked at him, last time I looked at him, I haven't looked at him recently. Isn't that terrible? I have to block it out when I,
I don't
when,
blame you.
but when I looked maybe a month and a half ago, because I did a reading for the United States, and I've only done 3 readings for the United States, okay? Except when I have since this year, since I've been a YouTuber psychic. Before, years ago, I practiced on YouTube with you and all the other psychics in the group, and we all
Oh,
get
all right.
similar cards because I needed the strength to read on
Yeah,
them
it takes a
with
while.
other psychics. It was like too much, you know,
Right,
too much ick, right? You
right.
know, my
But the
friend
last
said,
reading on the United States, did you see all the troubles that we're going through?
so I saw the first reading I did right after the election. I saw the Queen of Cups reversed. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Kamala, right? Then I do the full reading. I saw a couple things, the injustice, whatever. And then I saw and fighting and all that. And I did the full reading, which shows him making all these changes. And then the final long-term outcome, Queen of Cups, upright, right? Then I do another reading, same kind of stuff. Final long-term outcome, justice, upright. By the way, Kamala's a Libra, right?
Yes.
Justice card's Libra. And these are both female. Then I do a whole different deck recently when I looked at his energy and I'm thinking about all this crap going on. And I just took a deep breath and I said, there's different timelines and who knows. And I got to do another reading. And I got the Empress upright. Now, this is an Empress from the Light Seers Tarot, this beautiful woman, and she's got the water energy, because she's got these dolphins swimming through her hair, and then she's birthing the earth. Like literally, there's a big globe as her belly. It's a beautiful imagery. And whenever I read the Empress, I know a lot of people think Mother Russia, so I am a little afraid of that as the final outcome. But I always feel that beautiful energy from an Empress, someone who is really intelligent, uses her words really well. She's loving, she's got all the gifts. She rules over all the queens. She's good with money, and she's charismatic,
Right,
right?
right.
She's got energy. So I'm like, this is too beautiful an empress on this deck to ever equate it with Russia, right?
Yeah.
So I keep thinking, my God, I never read before the election on it because it never occurred to me with everything going on that he would ever win a second time.
Or did he win? Yeah.
I don't think he did. And you know what? Why do I keep getting a female in the final? I should read again now, but why do I get a female that's got justice, compassion? And she's got all the qualifications for leadership. She's above and beyond. She's the empress. She's above and beyond, right? Who is that? I don't think Kamala would win a second term based upon everything that happened, right?
Right.
But I think If they found out there was cheating, she would be
She
president.
would be put in.
And you know what, Linda? The cards never lie. You know that. And I know you had seen her.
Or sometimes we misinterpret something.
Well, yeah. I don't know what your cards were at that time if you could have
I
misinterpreted.
used to always use the Morgan Greer.
Mm. Do you do? Yeah, that's right. You always do. So I don't know what you drew then. Oh, let's do this thing about the clairaudience I had about the pandemic. And then
Oh, yeah, you
you
guys got to hear
said,
this story. But
you
don't you
said,
love her? She's just, it's like us sitting here like two girlfriends. Okay.
thank you. I'm so
Okay.
happy to
Tell
speak to
everybody that's
you.
an excellent story.
Yes, oh, so in November 2019, I get a delivery I wasn't expecting. 8 KN99 masks, higher level than KN95, right? They get shipped to my house
From Amazon.
from Amazon. So they were like this black thing that you put the KN99 in, and it looked like an S&M thing, Linda. It's kind of freaked me out because we had never seen masks except it's a black thing, and it's for cyclists, that are afraid of exhaust fumes. So it's like the highest potency KN99, right?
Yeah.
And I find out it got shipped to me by accident. It was a mistake. Amazon said keep it. So I'm just like, I'm going to donate it to the free store. Because what am I going to do with this scary looking thing that looks like an S&M thing? Maybe some painter could use it or a bicyclist or whatever, and then I go to put it in the pile on the back of my house for the free store because I'm trying to, declutter and donate and all that, give what you can. And then I hear a voice. I heard the stern voice, which doesn't come along that often, the really stern, but not scary
Male voice.
male voice, not
That's like with me too. Yeah.
and listen, this is a commanding voice. You do what it says. Like, I'm never scared, even though it says scary things technically, but you listen.
Yeah.
You just be like, yes, sir, right? And it says, these masks are not a mistake. They're meant for you. Devastation is coming.
Whoa.
Yeah, devastation was what the voice said. Put them somewhere where you won't forget where they are. Now, I have asthma and I have three kinds of heart disease, mild though, right? And I've had, a lot of bronchitis and all this stuff over the years. So I can't get sick like that, right? I did end up getting COVID really badly, really badly.
In the beginning?
Yeah, in April of 2020. And I was wearing my mask everywhere I went because, you heard the voice, you wear the mask. And I probably got it from the nursing home because after my mom passed, I would still bring books and fluffy animals to them. I would, get stuff from the free store and bring it to them twice a month and make them happy. And then um, I found out half of them passed away in like 1 month. The National Guard had to go there and take care because National Guard are also nurses.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They had nurses and aides. So all the nurses and aides were sick. They couldn't take care of the patients. The National Guard had to come in. Half the patients passed away in 1 month. I don't know how many after that. And so I haven't, been back since because all the people I knew had passed away. And
Wow.
yeah, so I got to tell you something related to that.
What?
The next time I get a reading with you, no, the third time, and this is when you had me on you asked me to be on your show like 3.5 years ago. You said, girlfriend, besides telling me I'm supposed to do this for a living, and I said, I took your advice. I have a YouTube channel now. You said, there's like 200 people behind me. They all died of COVID. What's going on? Are you a nurse? They're all thanking you. Because I would go for years and bring them gifts. What little money I had, I would spend. And when I ran out of money, I went to the free store, got stuffed animals, washed them, got books. I went and always gave like hundreds gifts twice a
Isn't
month
that
to these
something?
people because they had nobody. Their relatives are far away. They're, maybe
Yeah.
someone visits them twice a year because
It was
airplane.
so bad, even people who had relatives couldn't go in and see their family.
No, and I haven't seen them since the lockdown. Actually, a week before the lockdown, they wouldn't let people in.
Damn.
So, and then my nephew came to stay with me, and I probably got COVID from him, because he
So
was
how
real
many times did you get COVID?
twice, like
Oh,
around Delta time, they say. Yeah, and I got problems ever since with my heart. I mean, yeah.
yeah. I ended up getting it probably flying on Delta Airlines to Chicago. I was sick the whole weekend in Chicago, didn't know. Couldn't have paid me to believe I had COVID. Fortunately, it was lightweight. I never had a fever. I was just tired.
Yeah, I got it. I just got it like a cold the second time because I had already been vaxxed and all and had it. But then the first time it felt like I'd been run over by a truck. I felt like
I
I thought
heard a
I
lot
had
of people.
pneumonia. I thought I had pneumonia. I didn't think I had COVID because it was all up in here. And they said,
Yeah,
oh, if you have dripping and all that, it's not COVID, and
right,
I lost my
right.
hair. I lost big, big patches of hair.
So I'm going to put you're going to send me the Dancing Oracle and also your website,
Yeah.
which is Be
Oh,
Living Goddess, Be a
bealivingoddess.com.
Living Goddess.
Yeah, and the
And
dance.
and your availability is pretty wide open.
Yeah, I can pretty much read every day. I mean, it just depends. Depends where I'm at, but for the most part, I can fit somebody in, not a problem.
Right.
I'm also at Angel Heart on Mondays and Tuesdays if you can't reach me for
Now,
any.
but you're not in person, you're on
Well, I'm in
Zoom or
Philly. I'm in
yeah.
Philly, and I'm in person once a month at this old paper mill, historic paper mill. I go there and I do in-person readings, and it's
Wow.
really good energy there. Yeah, it's beautiful. So
So what
people
do you
can,
think about Fetterman?
I don't know, man.
What
I should read
happened to
cards on
him?
him, but I was like in shock.
I don't think he'll make it another term.
No, I don't know. But listen, I want to tell people about your other pandemic thing. Is that
What?
okay? Because you
Sure.
had two predictions and you forgot about the
Enough
second
about
one.
me. What do you think of me?
No, but it's okay. So everyone knows about when you almost a year before the pandemic, you saw people
With
in Italy.
masks.
I think you saw them in Italy with masks.
Yeah, and I said at the time I was like they interrupted me when I was talking about something else. So I said it really fast to get it out of the way. Oh, apparently
Yeah,
a
because you're
really
trying to
nasty
get through the
virus is
reading.
coming and I see everybody wearing masks.
And you knew it was a virus. And remember how things started in Italy, like being known back
Yeah.
then? Now there's another case. Now, by the way, I didn't know it was a virus. I just assumed it's an earthquake because I saw the geography changing. I have all these dreams. So I have so much to tell people, but whatever. Sorry. Uh, but then, so Linda's talking about that. We all know about that. And then Linda had another prediction, but she didn't quite understand what was going on. Linda, shortly before the pandemic went public, like maybe a couple months or 4 months, maybe 4 months before that time where the lockdown happened, you saw two ships in the water and they're not going anywhere. And you're like, oh, I see this horror stuff happening. Bad stuff is coming to the United States. Is it a war? I see two big ships. And you're like, and you're trying to go in. Is it China? Is it Russia? What's going on? I'm not getting a war. It's like a war. It feels devastating as a war, but it's not a war. And these people are stranded on the ships. They're not allowed out.
Oh, that's the cruise ships.
Yes, the cruise ships before they knew they had COVID.
Damn.
And I was trying to find that
I
video.
don't remember if you guys, if my people didn't tell me People were the ones who said, Linda, you predicted this before it happened. I said, I did. And they would show, I think it was June of the year before I predicted the COVID. And they would send me copies of it.
Yes. And you knew it was the virus. I just saw devastation. I thought we need a mask because of rubble.
No,
And I didn't know it
the
was
guides
world.
told me it was a virus, a nasty virus.
So that's very interesting. So you're getting two visuals, an audience of it. Um, but you're still not connecting. These two are connected, and they're both
Right.
your psychic predictions. I'm getting it. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I know your visions, right? Because I watch you all the time. And I'm still not getting that it's a virus, even though I know I need a mask.
Right. Right.
So that's like
That
the,
was fascinating how those masks came to you.
oh, thank God I had them.
Oh my God.
I didn't have them, or I could have made a lot of people sick, because
Yeah.
I wore them because I was told to wear them, but my symptoms were not what people were saying COVID was then, right?
What did your mom pass away from?
Oh, she eventually died, like heart failure, like everything shut down, her kidneys, her liver. She
Okay.
was, yeah, she was told 40 years prior that she was going to die of cancer in 2 to 6 months, but three different doctors, three different hospitals. But she said, I'll tell that story another time on my channel, but she said, I'm not going to leave your father to the wolves. He's too innocent. Look at those women. They're going to prey upon him. They already got me dead. Because whenever I would go shopping with my dad or whatever, because my mom couldn't, these women be like, oh, John, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right. And they're like, I'm like, Mommy, women are flirting with Daddy, and he's just about to cry. She goes, I'll be damned if I'll die. And she had incurable cancer. She never got the radiation therapy or anything. She just
And she
lived.
lived.
Yeah, she protected him. She went to church every day to the shrine of St. John Newman with my dad, and then she just, you know, so that's why I love energy. All
Yeah.
my readings are about how to change your energy. If I teach the dance, how to shift your energy, because
What attracted you to belly dancing?
my next door neighbors were Armenian, and I heard the music every day,
I
and I love.
love that music.
Oh my God. And then I would go in their house. It was covered with oriental carpets and beautiful lanterns. And I tried the food. I love the food, the Armenian string cheese. I love the culture. And my neighbors were precious, and they would tell me their love story, and they were soulmates. But I love the music. I'm like, Mom, what is that music? It just would get in me.
Yeah, I
It would
love
just
it. Did
seize
you take
me.
formal lessons?
Oh God, yeah, all over the
I
world.
did too. I
I
can't find
almost,
the symbols like I like anymore.
oh, you can't find your symbols? I'll have to
Not
send
the
you.
type that fit that I feel comfortable with. I don't know
Oh,
why.
you have to sew the elastic. You have to get the good ones where you sew the elastic yourself. They have to be fitted to you.
Okay. Do you have a link of someplace I could go to?
I can send you some.
I used to love just to do the symbols.
There's a place in California not too far from you, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
I remember my first outfit in 1977 was a woman that handmade, hand beat it. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful red and white and stuff. And it was $300 back then in
which
1970
is a
something.
lot then.
And I was broke and had to sell the outfit because I had to make a car payment. And I got my price, but I imagine if I still had it, it would be. She died, by the way. She was out in Walnut Creek.
Yeah, I don't know where Walnut, because I'm here on the East Coast, but I've been to
Yeah.
California a lot. I just been to LA.
Do they still hand beat it and stuff, or is it
Well, they bambied it in Egypt. Most of the
okay?
costumes are made in Egypt and everything. I've been to the places where they're hand beating it, But there's also like I mean, yeah, it's all done by hand. But sometimes they'll have like one person doing the strings of beads hanging
Right.
somewhere else, and then they put it with the women, and the women sit around with their kids and the
Did
kid.
you ever go on competitions?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I won and stuff.
I never went on competitions. I did private parties just for friends, but
Yeah,
I
I mean,
just never, I did it just for fun. It was never anything. But I'll tell you, my stomach was tight as a drum.
oh, I wish
You
I
know,
had.
I could go all the way backwards.
You could?
Yes.
Back
Oh
then
my
all the way?
God. Yeah.
Oh my
I back in
God.
the I had a friend when I was talking about beating that guy up in San Francisco about me being able to kick him. Well, you know, my sons are experts in something, and they said it's nearly impossible to be able to put your leg up and kick somebody. I said, I have pictures of me standing holding my leg up, my
Wow.
knee behind my ear.
I want to see well,
Yeah, you know,
never want to
I could
show.
do splits. You know, I was very limber in those days. I couldn't try it now than the man in the moon, but
That's the one thing I could do is splits.
I remember
Oh,
when I kicked my legs up, I could hit
that's
my
rough.
face with my knee.
Wow, but Linda, do you want to come and be my guest sometime?
Sure,
Yes. Do you
absolutely.
want to be my guest this Sunday? Because at Angel Heart is promoting me as it's like a goddess dance class. It's using belly dance, but it's a little different. It's working with the chakras and the heaven earth energy. Or do you
But
want to?
are you dancing? Do people dance?
Yeah, or you can come on my Wednesday night if you want, or Thursday to regular
I
dance.
don't want to dance though.
Oh, you don't want to dance.
No, I've been there, done that, and I enjoyed it.
Well, you
But
know what? Why don't you come as my guest? Because I have to thank you to the chakra thing
there
this
you go. I do chakra.
because it's fun to use it in the body,
Yeah, yeah,
work with it in the body and have this awareness. It's very healing.
right. I mean, listen, I'll be 72 this year. I'm no spring chicken. So as much as I love to watch belly dancing, I will listen to the music just to listen to the music.
It's
But
beautiful.
I had a good time.
You did, yeah.
Sometimes I wouldn't mind doing the cymbals just to play, but I just have no desire to do. It's like going down and up. I couldn't do anymore because of that knee surgery I had.
Yeah. And these are rough, but if you wanted, you're invited as my guest. This is very gentle because it's more about energy.
Oh, okay.
And you could always watch if you felt like um just sitting it out. It's okay.
Right, right.
But
But do you have to be on camera or what? Because
no,
oh,
no, only if you want to be on camera.
yeah,
No,
I wouldn't
it's
want to
on
be on.
Zoom.
I
So,
don't need people busting it up, laughing their asses off.
oh no, I'm sure they would. Oh no, it's
I don't need my dogs all freaked out. What the hell are you doing, Mama?
no, and it just requires a small amount of space,
Yeah.
like 4 foot, and then you don't need to, like it's not like we're going to dance all over the place. It's like movement and feeling things. It's
Hey, I
very
wanted to say real quick, you guys, because I made an announcement about Jack. Just all of a sudden, he's just not really eating like he'll eat his green beans on the top of his kibble, and then he'll eat. I do a can of chicken, non-salted chicken, and I divide it, and it's only a 4 ounce can, so it's just enough for the taste. But he doesn't eat. He used to polish off the whole bowl of kibble, which is a cup, and he's not really touching the kibble. So I called the vet, and that's who I was talking to when you and I
yeah. I
connected.
heard the
And it's a mobile vet. She's coming out Monday because he had that big surgery. She just wants to double check his panel to make sure maybe it's not a low line infection. Maybe he's not feeling good.
yeah.
So I just want to tell you guys because people were telling me do the farmer's dog and all that. And I'm not switching him until the doctor says what to do.
And prayers for Jack,
So
sweetie.
prayers for my Jackie and his sister, my little Lulu. You know, she
Mm.
polishes off her meal in a New York minute. And then when he walks away, I have to run and grab his bowl because she'll walk over and finish polish off the rest of his too.
At least her appetite's healthy, right? So
Right. So you were raised in Philadelphia.
I was raised in Philadelphia. Yeah.
What's Philadelphia like?
Oh, it's getting crowded
Is
and
it getting
little.
crowded?
Yeah, it's not as beautiful and historic. It's all the buildings are getting taken down. The beautiful historic buildings are
No.
getting taken down for these Legoland really tall apartments.
Wow.
And they're not even, I mean, they're all foreign investors coming in and changing the look of the city. So it's not,
That's kind of a drag.
it
But
is a drag.
remember, like my guides have always told me, we all love historical things and we hold on tight sometimes. But at the end of the day, it can be taken out in a breath.
I know because we,
Nothing, it's like my natives said, my family, natives, they were very confused why the white man wanted to hold on to land or things. Because at the end of the day, all that can go in a New York minute.
it's nothing that lasts, you know?
No.
So it's what's important is what is
Because the
eternal.
earth changes. Now, listen, you told me you had some dreams about earth changes. Give me something.
Oh, okay.
We can take, hey,
So,
listen, my group can take it. Now, we know hurricane season is going to be pretty rough coming up.
well, I started having a lot of the flooding dreams a couple years ago. So these are the most recent.
And
And
there's been a lot of flooding, not just in the US, but everywhere.
yeah, and what's interesting is when I see the flooding dreams, it's so odd. At first, I thought it was a metaphor. Now, after another psychic said something similar, she's an angel channel. I'm starting to forget her name, but she's great. But when I see the flooding, like let's say I go down to the beach, it's the strangest sight. Everything is, flooded and wet. People are still there hanging out. And this is Jersey Shore, so there's no big dunes. Like, so it looked almost like other places where they have these massive dunes you have to go around because the water came in and did all this carving.
Yeah,
The water, it's you when I first go to the beach, it almost looks like a tsunami's coming, but nothing happens and it just sloshes like this. It's the weirdest, eeriest thing. I've had this dream so many times. And then there's this other channel that talks to the angels. Um, she's very famous. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name. And when she talks about the flooding and she talks, it's like the ocean is sloshing. Like,
yeah,
oh my God, that's what I see. And the other thing that talks about is this big flash of light. So I have always had this vision. I started like 35, 40 years ago of the future. And the future would have cars that make no noise. I mean, I even would talk to my coworker. I'm like, I always have these dreams of the future where there's cars that make no noise. How is this possible? Like silent, right? And there's two suns in the sky. There's two suns, two suns. And so there's other channels talking about this big flash of light that's going to happen and raise the vibration.
yeah,
And then there's also a couple scientists that I was following, and they're talking about a supernova event that happens like in the Middle Ages, but the light will reach us possibly soon, and it will look like two suns in the sky. So we'll see the
wow.
explosion of a dying star, and then when it comes down, and it could hover in the sky for 10 years, 100 years, as a second sun that would be so far from us. But the light would look about, I mean, in my dreams, it's the same size as the sun.
Isn't that something?
And then I was told around this time, like, because I'm always told to prepare for the future from way back. Um, I may have to talk to you off camera about where I get my information because I'm not quite ready to go public.
Yeah,
It's a little bit out there. But but I see like 40 years ago, I was told there would be a pole shift. And I
yeah,
never
that's been going on for, yeah,
it's been going on for like what, 10, 15
yeah,
years ago? But 40 years ago, how would I ever hear that?
right,
Well,
exactly.
and they showed me the geography of how that affects the earth, which is unrecognizable.
Wow. Yeah, when I have a poll shift from National Geographic that talks about what happened 58,000 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, so it's just, it's going to be a ride. And I think it's important that people connect to their own intuition. Like one of the things I do on my channel is trying to teach people through various means. We have fun. I read celebrities, but while I'm doing it, I'm always preaching, connect your intuition. People get mad, some of them, because they just want to get to
So
your
don't be so steadfast in owning a piece of property or staying.
yeah.
Some people never want to leave where they're sitting, and sometimes you've got to. I understand you worked all your life and you paid for this home, but if your guides are telling you exit stage left. I had just bought this house when we had the Armageddon fires, and as embers this big were flying past me,
I can't
and I
imagine
packed up
being,
my puppies. They were just puppies, and I packed up my kids, and my son had his car. And I told Universe, and I just moved in here. I bought the house, plus I spent thousands of dollars to redo it on the inside. Just got the house. Fortunately, the roof was brand new. And I told Universe as I start pulling out, if you want it, you can have it. Take it. If you
yeah,
want it,
because
you can have it. Don't hold on to things, you guys. You can, it's even people get upset because there was a ring that belonged to the and I understand that wanting to have that connection, but at the end of the day, when you go to the other side, you'll have a remake of the ring over there. It's not something you have to hold on to.
yeah, so I think it's important that people we all so one of the things is since I've been doing this now all the time for a living, I have more contact with other people's angels and guides, and I see a team behind everyone. So I just
Yeah,
wanted to assure people. I mean, I'm having contact, on a weekly basis where I'm seeing people's teams, and I'm just want people to know you have a team there to guide you.
a team.
A
Oh
team
yeah.
for each
And they're
person.
happy to do it, and they all knew this was coming. They all
Yeah,
knew this was coming.
and
So I'm going to post on this you're going to send it to me too. Because
send her
and be
my
sure to
info.
go to her YouTube channel and subscribe,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, subscribe. It's free, and
and
there's
you
a lot
can
of
have
cool.
me on your channel.
I want to have you because,
Yeah.
oh, Linda, would you come on
Yes,
soon?
I just need a date.
You want to come on next week or
Yeah,
this
I'll
week?
come on next
When,
week.
or whenever you want. Like even,
Yeah, I'll be real busy around Easter time because I'm having family over, but
do you
right
want to,
after Easter or right before Easter.
or do you want to come on today? You're probably busy.
Oh yeah, I have another show at 3.
Listen, I'll let you go. So, because yeah. So, I'll email you
People are
for,
gonna love you because you're very bright and bubbly. People like that.
I want to help people feel
Yeah.
good.
And
I hope
also
I can.
your schedule is open. You
Yeah,
have a
it
lot of,
really is for psychic readings. Yeah, it is because I'm total freelancer. I do a little bit of dance and then the rest is psychic and YouTube. So, um, you know, just book a reading on my website and then after I see it, I get the notification and then we'll schedule a time. But we can schedule soon and
yeah. If it's
not
urgent, let her know it's urgent.
yeah, if it's urgent, there's like an urgent thing. I just charge a little more because it's disrupting, to fit
Yeah.
someone in within 48 hours. But really, I have a lot of availability on a daily basis, even when I am busy. Because if I only have to fit in one person, it's not a big deal.
But you have a good clientele. You're doing good with your clientele.
I have a lot of repeat people, you
That's
know?
how you know. That was me. I always had repeat people.
Yeah, and I've helped them and I'm so happy and
Yeah,
hopefully
well,
they're going to
that's
be able
where
to
we
help.
get the shot in the arm is
Yeah,
through helping people.
yeah. And I want to help people help themselves. So my guidance is always, this is what's going to empower you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fortune teller here. You have power. You're co-creator, and this is your energy coming through. And you're seeing we're seeing the shadow side of your energy. What if we cast some light on that shadow? This is what you can do because this is still your energy. You own this. This is your moment if you just deal
Did
with
your
it.
mom ever come to you and see you again?
Oh my, so I have two moms. That's the other thing because you got confused. You were going to give me a refund. You're like, because I was silent, right? That was the other thing. You're like, you're talking about my one mom who's super vivacious and a diva and this and that. And then the other one's really, really depressed, right? And I said, no, Linda, and you're like, I think I have to give you a refund. I said, no, you're 100% correct. I have two moms. I'm adopted. By the way, my brother's Cherokee. My
Oh,
brother,
wow.
because we're all adopted, right? So he's Native American, and but he hasn't gone to investigate his background. But I want to take his grandkids to the powwows and let them
Oh, those are so
the
much fun.
drumming. Oh my God, it's amazing and so healing. But yeah, so
So which
my
one
mom,
passed in the rest home?
she passed. No, she passed in the hospital. I got to sing to her and hold her hand as she passed. So we got a couple hours together. She was hospitalized, and then she comes to me in a way that she's come to me in many ways, but in a way that really drove me crazy at first. My mom was notorious for wearing 10 different French perfumes at once that didn't go together. And she would spray it like crazy. And like if she came in the car with me, I'm like, Mom, I can't drive like this. It's too much. I can't breathe. It's winter. I can't open. Oh, Mom, please, can you just hold off on the perfume a little, honey? So then there was a family thing going on with uh, her granddaughter, you know, and she was distant from me. But I didn't know she was distant because we'll get into it, but it wasn't her. It was someone holding her back. And I really was mourning the grandnephew, right? The grandniece and
Yeah.
nephew. And my mom, she came through in three ways that day. She comes through, I go to the beach umbrella guy. So I'm in this retreat thing, wishing I had the little grandnephew with me because I would take him there to this beach in Cape May. And the grandnephew was asking for my nephew, my grandnephew. I'm sorry, the beach umbrella guy was asking about my nephew. Oh, where's the little guy? I miss him. I go, I'm distant from his mother. We haven't talked in a year. It's so sad. Breaks my heart. Then this kid says, like he said it like my mom was coming through him. He goes, just give it some time. Things have a
Wow.
way of working their way through. You're going to hear from them. So that day, I get a text from my niece, a whole bunch of texts. She had a new phone, whatever, this whole thing. I don't want to get into the dynamics, but obviously my number was blocked.
Yeah.
And I would try to reach her for the year. And then because she had this new phone, my number wasn't blocked, right? And I reached out to her. Then I see, okay, I had given the hotel a year before one of my favorite vases that was my mother's because I wanted a piece of my mom to be at the hotel. I could never bring her there because she was too sick. And it was missing for like months. It was like almost a year. It was missing. It suddenly shows up on the desk where I thought it would look good with the Hawaiian lamp. It had a Hawaiian theme with a feather in it.
Whoa.
Oh, I gotta tell you. Okay, there's so many ways my mom at the hotel, a couple days after my mom passed, before the funeral, I have to run this mermaid retreat because I do mermaid and goddess retreats back then, before the pandemic. And she passed away right before the pandemic. And the church bells are playing, okay, a country western song on the church bells that I had heard the night before and played 10 times over on YouTube. It helped me grieve and pack. Like I was processing my mom's death and packing. And then my friend who's with me, a singer-songwriter, says, I go, Deb, am I imagining things? Is that a country western song? She goes, no, that's a country western song. I go, that's so weird. I've never heard that song on the church bells. The owner never heard it. Then later that day, I'm sorry, the day that I got in touch with my niece a year later, my mom comes through with the perfume because we have a date now to see my nephew. That friggin' perfume combination, I didn't know what was going on with me. I'm like washing my nose out. I'm showering. I'm
Yeah.
like, wherever I went, this
That's her.
thought of
That's
her
her.
perfume. And it stayed with me until I saw my niece and nephew, the little niece, sister, and the nephew, and the baby, and then when I got home, it was gone. So she hung out with me,
While you hooked up. Yeah.
and it was I couldn't sleep for nights because this damn thing wouldn't go away.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so she wanted me to know she was there. She comes through different ways, but not too
Yeah.
often. My dad's with me every friggin' day since he died 11 years ago. He
Wow.
sends me 11 one-on-one. I know you got to go, but I want to just
Yeah.
end this note on, do you know when you booked me? You emailed me and you said, can we do this on the 11th at 11 a.m. Pacific?
Oh my God.
11:11.
There you go. So
So
look at your calendar. We'll set up for next week.
I'd love to have you on. I want
And
people to know that
I
my
gotta have
friend,
my calendar in front of me though.
so, and whatever you want to talk about, but I want people to know about your mediumship, especially.
Oh, well, I know, but I'm not doing that. But maybe
Yeah.
I'll open it up and do some
And the
couple of
politics
months.
and the
Yeah,
politics of what's
yeah.
happening, whatever you want. But because you're so good that it's undeniable that we still have contact
Yes, yes.
because we're all going to go
I
through this.
think you're good too. So let's get you going and get people out there. And
Thank you, Linda, for this
I can't cover
opportunity.
it all the rest of my life. Other people have to step up. So, all right, you guys, the dancing oracle. And we're going to put on the bottom of this how to get in touch with her, and her and I'll do a little show. And we'll probably do more current events. My peoples love current events.
Oh, then I have the strength to do the cards with
Yeah.
you.
All right.
See if we
Okay,
pull the
you
same
guys.
cards. All right. Thank you, Linda, so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.